I think I was right when I was saying it last week. This is by far and most definitely the dark horse anime of 2019, Vinland Saga. I'm here to review episode 5, The Troll's Son. Stay tuned.
トロルの子
And before we begin with this review, you can go ahead and like this video and subscribe to my channel for more anime content. And go ahead and talk about scenes like, for whatever reason, a lot of you people are just curious to know what anime YouTubers have to say about opening credits to any anime. I think it's fine. I'm not a big fan of the heavy metal rock music, but it seems like it fits in well with the mold and the theme of what Vinland Saga is all about, right? I feel like through the emotions and through the lyrics of what they're trying to convey within the songs, it's like, okay, this is a journey about a kid who's going to be eating a lot of shit, but through all that he will become stronger because of it. I think it's fine, gorgeous, and we can just talk about the animation now. I know I say this with a lot of animes, but these guys in the studio, Wit Studios, and I believe it's Studio Don Juan as well, they should really applaud themselves for just how great this looks. The detail and the shot from just the scenery, from the village being on fire to just the autumn settings that we get here, to even the expressions on Thorfinn's face, it just looks gorgeous. I mean, this anime truly is stunning. Another thing I want to mention is that I know the pronunciations of names. If I am pronouncing any of these names wrong, you guys let me know in the comments down below. To the names right away, is it Ask-Eland or Askland? You let me know. Thor's son, Thorfinn, but I think it's actually pronounced Forsfinn. And episode 5, The Troll's Son, begins immediately after the events from the previous episode. We see Forsfinn just trying to get by, struggling, or keeping his mouth moist because he can't drink the salt water. He's saying damn it to life. We also see more examples in this episode where, because everything is set in the Viking Age, yeah, there's no such thing as good or bad people here, right? Or Askland's men land ashore to a village. They sack the village. They rape some of the women. It seems like Askland doesn't really care too much about it because it's just a way of life. They're just alpha males. They're doing what they want. I don't think they really relish in the fact, but they'll do it because they want to, and that's kind of the cruel setting that they're in. We see Forsfinn versus Askland right here. In this battle, we see Askland just assuming he can carry this big sword. Askland himself ends up telling him, "You can't let the sword swing you around." He gets his ass beat. Defeated, he goes ahead and licks his wounds. Forsfinn, again, he's 6 years old, so is he going to kill someone right there? And we find out he doesn't kill him because he, just like his father, wants to defeat someone through honor, and doing it through a coward's way if someone's going to bed is not ideal in Forsfinn's mind. Everyone laughs at him, and we see more moments of him just eating shit. Interesting dichotomy here, because we just saw an earlier episode how Forsfinn was having these make-believe battles with his childhood friends and peers about how great it was going to be a Viking and to set sail on the grand ocean line and just to experience life, and he's getting it firsthand, but not in the way that he expects. We see him struggling just to get by. Food, just with water. Him being kicked down to the curb. We jump into the montage scene, which we'll get to in a second, and that's how the first half of this episode ends. And then we get the second half of the episode, starting with people who were survivors from Thor's self-sacrifice from the last episode, going back to the village, telling Thor's wife and his daughter, Helga and Ylva, that, hey, your father unfortunately died. And it's really hard because the wife is very accepting right away, although she's saddened. But the daughter, on the other hand, is coping with it by staying busy. She tries to play it off like just working throughout the day, saying, well, hey, what do you expect? Father was a Viking warrior. Of course, he was going to die. I'm not really fazed by this. And we see a very touching moment where at the end of a very long day, her mother's like, hey, you need to rest. Just calm down. And then from there, she just kind of lets her emotions get to the best of her. She starts breaking down and crying, and it was really sad to see. In this world, they have to be tough warriors. It's okay to show emotions, and it looks like even Thor's daughter is no exception to this rule. So it's great to see that, yes, she is human, but we also see how freakishly strong she is too. So I'm curious to see at the end of this episode, because I'm pretty sure we have to see a time jump now, and I'm curious to see what his sister is going to be playing in, because she is very strong, as we see in her montage of staying busy in the village. Now, cut back to Forsfinn here, and now we cue to a montage, right? And now, Rocky style, grabbing a sword, learning is just the tools and the essentials of what it is to survive in this cruel and harsh world. We see him entering this fight or flight mode when he's facing off the wolf, and we see how frightened he is. He doesn't use the big sword anymore. He puts down his pride and he uses the sword that Thor ends up giving him. Experience his first kill, and it is with an animal. We see this great shot where his hands are just really shaken by the experience. He has blood all over himself. And now we see, oh, he's learning how to survive. He's learning how to catch food for himself, right? He also learns how to do a few tricks with the little sword he is given. And now, fast forward, as Asklund is about to leave the village with his men, we see the face-off or the duel for round 2. Asklund versus Thorfinn, and he's like, all right, I know what I'm doing. Asklund seems to be impressed with some of the techniques he learned in such a short amount of time. Of course, it's still not enough for Thorfinn. He gets down, he gets kicked, he gets beaten, and then right when Asklund thinks it's all said and done, Thorfinn uses his secret technique, right? Throws the sword, but to no avail, it doesn't work, and Asklund does this really great thing and tells Thorfinn, hey, if you want to face me again, then you need to establish yourself as a great Viking warrior like your father. I want your name to build upon this world as one of the greatest Viking warriors that has ever lived. Until then, we will face off. And that is a promise between warriors, he tells him. So we'll see how Thorfinn now fends for himself, because he is not going in the ship with Asklund and his men, or at least that's how I got it. But for sure, I don't think we're going to get another moment with him being so young. I think we're going to now fast forward to a few years just to accelerate the story, and then just to see where things are setting wise, right? Because we got just a few bits and pieces here with Floki's men asking Asklund, hey, what was Thor's lasting impression? So I kind of want to see more of that political intrigue that we'll get with the story. And yeah, Vinland Saga, just a really fantastic anime to jump into. So once again, this is a short, brief review. I hope you guys like this. Let me know in the comments down below what were your favorite parts. Don't forget to like and subscribe. My name is DJ Miles, and like I always say, to be continued. Take care.